What about my screen?
Yes.
Is the screen visible? 1 minute. Is the screen visible now?
Yes, madam.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So, in the last lecture, we have discussed about the digestive system and the cardiovascular system. Now we are continuing the digestive system today. In the last lecture, I am taking the review. Digestive system, which includes ingestion of food, then digestion, absorption, assimilation, and elimination of the waste products. These are all the phases of the digestive system. Actually, digestive system, what is the main function? It provides nourishment, because what happens when we take the food, that state of food, it is not used by our body. Our body needs its very simple form. So digestive system, in the various actions, you can say the chemical processes continually acting on our food, and the food gets transferred into a simple form so that our small intestine can easily absorb the food. So this is the main aim, to transform the food into simple form so that our intestines, particularly small intestines, are ready to absorb the nutrients. So this system provides nourishment to all the cells in our body. Now, one by one, we have seen the various processes. Breakdown of food, this is the mechanical process, acting various enzymes like the enzymes pepsin, renin, lipase, amylase, trypsin, various enzymes. Some of these enzymes we have seen in the last lecture, which are present in the stomach, and some enzymes we will see today. It includes again the mastication till the churning in stomach. Then the various chemical processes, and now the movement of the food. The passage, you can say the alimentary tract, it contains basically two parts. One part, actual organs taking part in the process of digestion. They are the mouth, the pharynx, then esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. And the accessory organs for digestion, these include certain glands like liver, gallbladder, pancreas, and all. Now, what are peristaltic movements? These are the movements which occur due to the contraction and relaxation, which form a wave-like manner known as peristaltic movements. With the help of these movements, food is carried from the mouth towards the esophagus, towards the stomach, and further. Now, various digestive organs. Here you have seen mouth contains the teeth, then tongue, and the salivary glands. Various types of salivary glands we are going to learn today. The mouth having a roof made up of soft and hard palate, and tongue, it is the muscular organ which is very important for production of speech, mixing the saliva and sense of taste and all that. Right? Now, from the mouth, the food which is mixed with saliva and chewed with the help of teeth, that bolus is formed, which is alkaline in nature. This bolus now enters the pharynx. Pharynx is divided into three parts we have seen. nasopharynx, oropharynx, and the laryngopharynx. Now food enter the oropharynx. From oropharynx, which is the muscular tube-like structure, it leads to the esophagus. It lies the posteriorly to the trachea. Now from esophagus, the food known as bolus in form, it enters the stomach. Then we have seen the structure of the stomach, J-shaped hollow muscular bag-like structure. We can say the temporary reservoir of food having two ends, the border, the fundus, body, all parts we have seen in the last lecture. And the wall of the stomach is made up of certain coats are there, serous coat, mucus, submucous, muscular coats are there. And in the wall, there lies the glands known as gastric glands. And these gastric glands secrete the juice known as gastric juice. This gastric juice contains hydrochloric acid, pepsin, renin, lipase, which help in the particularly digestion of the stomach, digestion of the protein. Protein digestion takes place with the help of pepsin, and hydrochloric acid is very important for action of the pepsin on protein. Also, hydrochloric acid is a strong acid, and it helps to kill the microorganisms or any foreign particle which enter the food through food in the stomach. Now, from the stomach, near about, we have also seen the quality and quantity of food. It depends. Near about 2.5 to 3.5 hours after that, food, the second end, that is known as pyloric end, opens, and the remaining food part, which is digested, not completely yet, but maximally digested part, which is mixed with hydrochloric acid, pepsin, renin, lipase, all that. That part of food is known as now chyme, chyme, chyme. This becomes now acidic in nature because it get mixed with the hydrochloric acid. Now this acidic chyme enters the small intestine. Small intestine actually this is the stomach, and now the small intestine. Small intestine, 7-meter long structure having three main parts: duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. So food enters the duodenum, that is first part. And here in the duodenum, certain juices like bile juice and the pancreatic juice, it get mixed. And how these juices get mixed and what is their action, we are going to learn today. Now, the villi, we have seen the structure of the small intestine yesterday. These are the villi, like finger-like projections. When we observe a piece of small intestine under microscope, we can notice these finger-like projections, which increase the surface area of the small intestine. It seems like this, the finger-like, having the ductile in the center, which absorb the fat material, that is the fatty acid and glycerol. They are absorbed by the lacteals and other end products of metabolism, glucose and amino acids. They are absorbed through the villi of the small intestine. Now then we have seen the last part, that is the large intestine. The unwanted food get transferred towards the large intestine, which is 1.5 meter long, and the food get transferred from the ascending colon, then transverse colon. Due to the peristaltic movement, the food passes from the ascending towards the transverse and the descending and sigmoid rectum and the anal canal. So this is the actual passage of the food waste products. Now today we are going to learn about the accessory organs, certain glands which help in the particularly digestion, help in various metabolic processes, help in relieving the certain harmful materials from the body. Let us learn one by one. This is the first gland, that is known as liver. Liver, actually it is the second largest organ. First largest organ is the skin. Skin is the first largest organ. And as considering the gland, it is the largest gland in our body. Heaviest organ, having certain reddish brownish color, and shape is like a wedge or conical in shape, having 4 lobes. Total 4 lobes are there in the liver. It includes gallbladder and pancreas and all that play important role. One by one, we are learning about the liver. Largest gland, it directly affects the digestion by producing bile. The cell of the liver is known as hepatic cell. Just we have seen the cell of the heart is muscle cell in the heart is known as cardiac cell, cardiac muscle cell, like that. Hepatic cell is the cell, the name of the cell in the liver. It affects the digestion by producing bile. Metabolism of fat, proteins, and carbohydrate takes place here. Also, liver plays important role to remove all the toxins and waste materials like for various poisons. The waste materials which are formed during the metabolic processes. It regulates blood clotting and all. Now, important points regarding the liver. Liver having 2 lobes are clearly seen in the diagram. One is largest lobe, that is known as right lobe of liver, and another lobe, it is known as left lobe. The 2 lobes, they are uh, separated by a ligament known as falciform ligament. What is the name of ligament which separates the 2 lobes? Falciform ligament. The right lobe of liver is much bigger, or you can say 5 to 6 times larger than the left lobe. Another 2 lobes are also present in the cell, that is known as caudate lobe and the quadrate lobe. Where these lobes are located, actually we cannot see them superiorly. Caudate lobe, it extends from the posterior side of right lobe, and quadrate lobe extends from the inferior to the caudate lobe. So these are the 4 lobes of the liver: right lobe, left lobe, caudate lobe, and the quadrate lobe. Then each lobe, that means these 4 lobes are there. Each lobe is divided into 8 segments. 8 segments. And these segments are made up of thousands of small lobules. And each lobule is united or connected with the hepatic duct. And this hepatic duct drains the bile, because the main function of the hepatic cell is to produce the bile juice. One must know the parts. You can notice in the diagram common hepatic duct. Watch the common hepatic duct, the bile duct, the pancreas. What is common hepatic duct? Actually this duct is a tube-like structure, and it carries the bile from the liver. The hepatic cell produces bile, and that bile is stored in the gallbladder, which is a bag-like structure located below the right lobe of liver. You can watch here the pear-like bag below the right lobe of liver. Where gallbladder is located? Below the right lobe of liver. Here lies the greenish colored bag-like structure, and here the bile juice is stored. Now from this gallbladder, this common hepatic duct carries the bile out of the liver, and Liver is very important gland, so it is covered by a capsule. We have seen in the last also that all our vital organs, they are well protected. Some are protected in the cages made up of bones, some are in the cavity, and some are protected from the capsules. Also, our liver is very important organ, so it is covered by a capsule known as Gleason's capsule. Gleason, Glis, Gleason's capsule. Uh, Now, liver, various important functions of the liver. Um, it plays a very important role for the production of bile and certain toxic matter. One by one, we will see the interesting functions of the liver. The most important function is storage of glucose. What happens when we eat the food containing carbohydrates? After digestion, after metabolism of the carbohydrates, the end product which is formed is the glucose. And when there is extra glucose and there is no need of this extra glucose, what happens? Our liver cell transforms this extra glucose into the glycogen. And this, in the form of glycogen, it is stored in our body. And when there is need, when do we fast or some extra work, extra exercise, whatever. What happens when our body needs extra energy? Again, our liver reconverts this glycogen into the glucose and we get energy like that. So this is very important function of the liver to store the glycogen and reconvert this glycogen into glucose when there is a need to our body. Then another important function of the liver is production of certain um, uh, factors like albumin, globulin. These are certain types of proteins: albumin, globulin, fibrinogen, prothrombin. We have seen in the last lecture that our body needs these factors for the clotting of blood. Hmm? Besides our thrombocytes, these factors are very essential for clotting of blood, and these factors are produced in the liver. So another important function we have seen the production of the bile. What is the function of bile and why it is necessary for digestion? The main function of the bile juice is to help in the metabolism and absorption of the fatty substances. Emulsification of fat is the main function of the bile juice. Also, liver plays a very important role in removing the toxic matter. Removing the toxic matters. Continually, metabolic processes are going inside the body and waste materials are formed. And these materials, certain byproducts, toxins, these are very harmful substances and they must removed time to time, and the liver plays very important role to remove all these toxins. Regulation of amino acid is also important function. Amino acid level is kept normal in our bloodstream because these are there are certain types of proteins and they are very important for the digestion of the proteins, and their level is maintained by our liver. Regulates blood clotting by creating the vitamin K. All of you may know various types of vitamins in our body. Can anybody tell me the vitamins? What do you know about vitamins? And they are classified into, please, you can share your knowledge. What do you mean by a vitamin? Which are the various types of vitamins? No? Yes or no? Do you know about vitamins?
Yes, we know, but what is the function of vitamins? Really don't know.
Okay,
It's
okay.
an,
What do
it's
you know? What do
necessary.
you know? Yes, yes, of
It's
course.
it's necessary for the our what say in
Mhm.
the body function and for the skin and all that
Yes,
for
yes,
the
all
eyes.
right.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. So, vitamins actually they are vital amines. What I am saying about amino acids and amines, these are the vital amines, vitamins. Why amino acids? Vitamins are basically they are classified into two groups: fat soluble vitamins and water soluble vitamins. These fat soluble vitamins are A, total number of vitamins A, B, C, D, E, and K. Hmm? These are the vitamins. They are classified into water soluble and fat soluble. So, fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E, and K. These fat soluble vitamins they are formed and they are stored here in the liver, right? So storage of vitamins like ADEK, ADEK are the fat soluble vitamins, and K vitamin is very important for the clotting of blood. You should note the important point, which are the various factors for clotting of blood. We have seen in the last lecture that platelets, the calcium, various proteins like albumin, globulin, fibrinogen, prothrombin, and also the vitamin K. It is very important for the clotting of the blood, and it is stored in the liver. Also, vitamin B12. It is again very important vitamin B12. B and C are the water soluble vitamins, and it is also stored, as well as iron and copper. These are also stored in the liver. So liver plays very interesting role in our body. It very important function is deamination, deamination or denitrification. This is also a life-saving function of the liver. D means to remove. Amine, deamination. Amino acids, in the amino acids, NH4 group, that is ammonia containing part, which is very harmful to our body. It is separated and converted into urea and uric acid in the liver. And this urea and uric acid, they are the waste products and they are very harmful. So separation occurs here in the liver and they are transferred towards the kidney, and from where they are expelled through the urine. Clear? So these all are very important functions of the liver. So liver is the second largest gland which help in the which play actually very important roles in our body. Now the next gland is the gallbladder. Gallbladder is the small pear shaped. You can watch clearly here the greenish colored pear shaped gland located below the right lobe of liver. Right lobe of liver. Bile, actually it stores, liver cells forms the bile, and this bile is stored in this gallbladder. And bile is important for the digestion of fat. Bile is mixture of cholesterol, bilirubin, and certain bile salts. Composition of bile we have seen the very short manner. Gallbladder, it is connected with other parts of digestive system and the biliary tract. What is biliary tract? The hepatic duct, common hepatic duct, and the pipe-like structure which carries bile from the liver towards the small intestine. This is the biliary tract, from where bile juice is carried from liver towards the small intestine for further digestion. Um, here, if the composition of the bile get disturbed, what happens? If the cholesterol level get increased in the blood on bile stone or bilirubin, the normal composition get disturbed, what happens? It may cause the gallstone, and these patients are coming very oftenly in the clinic having the complaints of gallstones. So, gallbladder. So clear where the gallbladder is located, what about its shape and the biliary tract and the main function of the bile juice. Now coming to the next gland, that is pancreas. Actually, pancreas is a elongated tapered organ. It is very interesting gland. It is the mixed type of gland having two functions, exocrine as well as endocrine function. Exocrine means helping for the digestion, and endocrine function means production of certain hormones. So this gland is known as mixed type of gland as it performs both the functions, exocrine and endocrine, both functions. So having in the exact location of this gland is near the duodenum, and it lies posterior abdominal wall. It covers the posterior abdominal wall. Okay. So right side of the organ is head. You can watch here in the diagram. The gland is located in the C of the duodenum. You are watching the duodenum, which resembles like the word C. And in this C, this lobulated gland, which is having head, the narrow neck, the main body, and the tail. This is elongated structure. And the last part, yellowish part, and the last tapering part, it touches the spleen. There are four parts: head, neck, body, and tail of the pancreas. Head of the pancreas is located in the C of the duodenum. The length of the gland is near about 15 to 20 centimeter, and it is 1.2 to 1.8 centimeter in thickness, and weight of the pancreas is near about 80 grams. 80 grams. This end of the end or tail of the pancreas is reaches up to the spleen. Pancreas play a very important role by secreting pancreatic juice. Pancreas secrete a juice known as pancreatic juice, and this pancreatic juice helps to digest fat, carbohydrates, and proteins. These are known as macronutrients of the food. You may know about micro and macronutrients of the food. And the protein, the carbohydrates, and fats, these are the macronutrients required in large quantities as compared to the micronutrients like vitamins and minerals. So these pancreatic enzyme contain amylase, lipase, trypsin, chymotrypsin. These are certain enzymes which act on the carbohydrate, fat, and protein, and mostly here the digestion of these macronutrient get completed, and the rest of the process of digestion takes place in the jejunum and ileum, where lies the glands known as intestinal glands. It is somewhat critical type, but just I will not go so deep here. Just remember that pancreas is a mixed gland, and it secretes the pancreatic juice, which help in the digestion of macronutrient like carbohydrate, protein, and fat. This is more than enough knowledge regarding the pancreas. Now another function or endocrinal function we are going to learn details about endocrinal function of the pancreas while studying the endocrinal system. In the next lecture, we will learn about the endocrinal part of the pancreas. Here, we are learning about digestive system, and digestive function of the pancreas is secretion of pancreatic juice, which help in the digestion of the macronutrients. Here we have completed the digestive system, which includes main organs as well as the accessory organs. Now another system we will start, that is the excretory system, and I will share the presentation in 1 minute. One minute, I am going to share the presentation of excretory system. Now, is the screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Let us see the excretory system. After digestive system and after digestion of the various food material, the process of excretion. What is excretory system and which are the various organs of excretion? Let us see. Kidneys, through kidneys, urine is the waste material. Through skin, sweat, which is an excretory product, excreted through the skin. Through lungs, carbon dioxide, very toxic gas, it is excreted. Through the digestive system, the solid part of the waste material, it is excreted through the large intestine. These are the various organs: kidney, lung, skin, and the large intestine. Actually, these are the very important excretory organs of our body. Waste products. Which are the waste products? Means these are the end products or chemicals of metabolic processes, having no any use to the body, and they must be removed time to time from the body. And if they get accumulated inside the body will become house of various types of disorders, various disease. Our ease will remove, and we will having the disease state. We will go in the disease state because of the accumulation of various excretory products. So to remove these excretory products, the system is made. The system helps to maintain homeostasis. We have seen in the last lecture about the process of homeostasis. Can anybody tell me what is homeostasis? Any example of homeostasis process? Okay, nobody. It is the process in which various actually blood temperature regulation, blood pressure regulation, blood sugar regulation, maintenance of osmotic pressure, all these processes which are very, very vital for survival of life, these are all come under the process of homeostasis. Some of these prove detrimental or very harmful for the health. Excretory products, some are in liquid state, some are in the gaseous like the carbon dioxide, and some are the solid form. We will learn about urine and various process of excretion. one by one. One by one, we will see the structure of the excretory system. Actually, excretory system consists of, the first is urinary system, and this system includes kidneys, ureter, urethra, the bladder, and all that. So this is the urinary system, the first is, and various organs of urinary system are in front of you, and the most important is the kidney. So you must know about the structure and function of the kidney. Kidneys are actually bean-shaped organs, lie on either side of our spinal column, posterior abdominal wall. These are located, and they are well protected by the muscles, the fats, and the ribs. Actually, correct location is T12 to L3. That means there are 12 thoracic vertebrae. From the 12th thoracic vertebrae up to the third lumbar vertebrae is the location of left kidney. This is the pair of kidney lying posterior abdominal wall, but left kidney is at the level of T12 to L3. Note the point, T12 to L3 is the location of the kidney, but the right kidney, it lies somewhat at the lower side. Why? Because when you notice at the right side of liver, most of the space is occupied by the liver. So the right kidney lies somewhat at the lower side than the left one. Clear? So T12 to L3 is the location of the left kidney, and right kidney lies slightly below the liver. Weight of the kidney in male and female, there is slight difference. 125 to 175 gram is the weight of kidney in male, while 115 to 155 gram weight is in the female. Length of kidney is near about 11 to 14 centimeter. Width is 6 centimeter, and the thickness of the kidney is 4 centimeter. That means length, width, and thickness 11 by 6 by 4. These are the measurements of the kidney. Actually, when you observe the structure very closely, you can notice there are two poles of the kidneys, superior pole and the inferior pole. On the top, that means superior pole of the kidney consists of a endocrine gland that is known as adrenal gland. Adrenal gland, or also known as suprarenal gland. By suprarenal, superior pole of the kidney, these glands are located, so known as suprarenal glands. Very interesting glands, and we are going to learn details about these endocrine glands in the next lecture. So I am not going so deep about the adrenal gland here. Now, we have seen the weight, size, shape. Shape is bean shaped. Color is near about slightly brownish colored, and it is covered by the capsule. Again, it is very important organ. So nature have given protection. It is covered by the fibrous capsule, and this capsule helps to hold its bean shape and protect the kidney. Shock absorbing layer is there on the kidney, made up of adipose, that means fatty tissue, and that fatty tissue is known as renal fat pad. Renal fat pad, it is made up of adipose tissue, which gives protection to the kidney. Okay, now in the center, exactly here you can watch the various parts of the kidney. We have seen the shape, size, color. covering. And now this is all the external features. About weight, we have also seen the weight, location. Now internal structure of the kidney. When we cut the kidneys, we take a longitudinal section and open the kidney, we can notice that it is made up of two parts. One part which is outer part, that is known as cortex, and the inner soft portion, that is known as medulla. These are the two parts of kidney, outer cortex and inner medulla, which is soft portion, and cortex is the protective portion of the kidney. A depressed part which is located in the middle of the kidney, a middle portion of the kidney or bean. You have seen the structure of the bean, and the middle part is somewhat concave, and this middle portion having a depression, and that depression is known as hilum of kidney. And this is actually known as the gate of the kidney because various important blood vessels like hepatic artery carrying pure blood to supply nourishment to the kidney, renal veins which removes all the impure or deoxygenated blood from the kidney, it leaves the kidney. That means entrance and exit, the gate of the kidney, that is known as what? Hilum. And this hilum or depression, it is located in the middle of the concave side of the kidney, where blood vessels, certain nerves, and very important structure known as ureters, the urine which is formed here in the kidney, it is collected in the pelvis part of the kidney, and through this pelvis, ureters collect the urine and transports this urine into the urinary bladder. Now, what is cortex? Cortex is where the blood is filtered. Blood is filtered. What is the major function of the kidney is filtration of blood. Kidney filters near about 1700 liters of blood daily. So the nephron, I will show you the structure of the nephron. 1 minute, we will see the structure. Yes, this is the this is the structure of the nephron. We will not go so deep, but this is the microscopic structure of the kidney. When we study the kidney structure of kidney, and while learning anatomy, I have told you in the very first lecture, external, internal, and the microscopic structure. One must know superiorly that the nephron is the structural and functional unit of kidney. And here the process of filtration of blood takes place. Nephron. And this is the structure. It is very complicated one, having a cup-shaped part that is known as glomerulus. You can watch the glomerulus, cup-shaped part, and in the cup-shaped part there lies the network of blood capillaries known as glomerulus. Togetherly, glomerulus and the cup-shaped part, it is known as Bowman's capsule, capsule-like structure, and below it is the some part known as proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, then loop of Henle, you can watch here, U-shaped loop of Henle, and last part of this nephron is collecting duct, you can watch here. So these are the parts of the nephron: Bowman's capsule, glomerulus, various tubules like first convoluted tubule, or proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, PST, DST, loop of Henle, and last is the collecting duct. Here in the Bowman's capsule, what happens? the blood, due to the pressure of the blood, it gets filtered, and the two parts. Here you can see renal corpuscle, Bowman's capsule, and the glomerulus. Renal tubule, proximal, and loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubules. Blood enters the nephron where impurities are filtered. And lastly, these are emptied into the collecting duct. That means lastly, after the filtering of the blood, the part of the blood which is essential or which contain nutrients, it is again reabsorbed, and the waste products which are not required by the body, they are transferred to the collecting duct. And from the collecting duct, it leaves purified blood leaves the nephron through the renal vein. And from collecting duct, the waste material, it is transferred towards the ureter. This is all about the microscopic structure of the blood, kidney. Again, so what we have seen in the about kidney, 1 minute, I will show you the structure of the kidney very fast. Having internal structure, cortex and medulla we have seen. Cortex, medulla, then the hilum, and from the hilum, important blood vessels, entrance and exit, and then the ureters, they carry the urine. And then we have seen the nephron, having the structure, Bowman's capsule, PCT, DCT, then loop of Henle, and from the distal convoluted tubule, lastly collecting duct, collects the urine and pass towards the ureter. This is the microscopic structure of the kidney. So we will not go so deep about how the process takes place and all that, but important functions one must know, that filtration takes place, selective absorption, and secretion. These three processes occur here, filtration of blood, and lastly the urine is formed. We will not go so deep how the process takes place. This is the exact structure of the nephron. Now, importantly, the main functions of kidney. All of you know the important function of kidney is production of urine, but various other important functions are also there. Removing the waste materials, particularly urea, creatinine. Creatinine is the waste from the muscle. So creatinine is very important muscular waste. It is removed through the kidney. Certain harmful drugs, they are also excreted through the kidney. It balances our body fluids. It also releases certain hormones. Kidney release some hormones, particularly renin. Renin helps to increase the blood pressure. And another protein, you can say angiotensin. Angiotensin helps in the constriction of the blood vessels. That means overall, kidney helps in the maintenance of our blood pressure. By contracting and by relaxing some muscles, secreting certain hormones, it helps in maintenance of the blood pressure. Also, a hormone known as calcitrol and erythropoietin. These are secreted from the kidney. Calcitrol hormone, it helps the to form the vitamin D and promotes the strong and healthy bones. So this calcitrol hormone is very important one. And another important is erythropoietin hormone. Note this name of the hormones, erythropoietin. Erythropoietin is the hormone which helps or which stimulates our bone marrow to produce the RBCs, red blood cells. So, for formation of red blood cells, this erythropoietin hormone, which is released from kidney, plays very important role. Also, kidney help to control the acid-base balance. So, this is all about the functions of kidney. Now, another important one is ureter. After formation of urine in the nephron, what happens? This urine is collected in the pelvic part of the kidney, and from pelvis there arise one from the right kidney, one from the left kidney, two ureters or tube-like structures. These are the narrow tubes. They carry the urine from the kidney towards the bladder. These are approximately 6 to 7 inches long, attached to each kidney. These are made up of 3 layers of the tissue, which are having smooth muscle, fibrous tissue, and the mucus layers. Again here, the peristaltic movement, rhythmic contraction of the smooth muscles present in the ureter help contract and relax, and a wave like manner is formed, that is peristaltic waves, and through this it helps to move the urine into the bladder. Now urine is collected in the urinary bladder. You can notice here the two ureters. This is the urinary bladder. Now bladder is somewhat triangular in shape, hollow muscular organ which stores urine. And the sphincter muscle. What is the sphincter muscle? I have taught you about only 3 muscles actually: voluntary, involuntary, and cardiac. But there is a specific muscle known as sphincter muscle, also located inside the body, and it plays major role to hold the particular part. For example, it is present in our urinary bladder, or surrounding the urethra, surrounding the anal canal, to hold the stool or to hold the urine. It plays important role. So sphincter muscle holds the urine in place. It holds near about 300 to 400 milliliters of urine before emptying. There is a trigone area in the urinary bladder, which is triangular in area that is at the base of the bladder, where ureter enters and urethra exits. This is the chances of getting infection is at this site is very common. So, these are the two sphincter muscles which keep urine from leaking, and they are covered tightly. They cover the urethra. Okay. Now the next is urethra. It allows the urine to pass outside the body. Very interesting part. Our brain gives signal to the muscles of the bladder to tighten, and it squeezes the urine out of the bladder. At the same time, our brain gives signal to the sphincter muscle also. That means our brain gives signal to the smooth muscle, and at the same time it gives signals to the sphincter muscle also. One signal for smooth muscle is for tightness of the gallbladder, so that gallbladder squeezes out, and another signal to the sphincter muscle to get relaxed, so that the process of urination takes place easily. But all these signals must occur in a proper manner for the smooth passage of urine. and otherwise the process of urination gets disturbed. So the signaling from the brain should be in a proper manner for the process of urination. There is some difference between the female and male urethra. So this is all about the urinary system. There is certain difference in the length, and one important feature in the male urethra is the presence of the prostate glands. This is all about the urinary system. Then another important excretory organ, you can say the lung, and already we have seen the structure of the lung in details, and the excretory product is CO2, which is a toxic one. Now the part of excretory system which we have not learned yet, that is the skin. Skin helps in the excretion of sweat. So there is no any slide here with me. So it's totally, I will share about the skin in details in the next lecture, because here I have not any slide with me. So this is all about the excretory system. Besides skin, all the excretory organs we have discussed, like kidney, ureter, urinary bladder, urethra, and already we have discussed about the large intestine and the lungs. Interesting part about large intestine, and which is most practical one, I will tell you that when we do not take sufficient quantity of water, and there is lack of fiber in our diet, or we take lot of fast food which contain wheat or maida like substances, what happens, like pizza and burgers and bread and all such, not brown bread, so all white bread, all such products, what happens when they enter our gut after digestion? What happens when our food is not sufficient with fiber? You know the sources of fiber, all the green leafy vegetables and the cereals, or millets. These are very rich source of fibers. And when there is lack of fiber, not sufficient quantity of water we are in, we have in, the intake is less, what will happen? The peristaltic movement in the ascending colon, then the transverse colon and descending colon, the peristaltic movement will not continue occur, and there will be disturbance. Due to this, what will happen? The food which is waste and it should be excreted, it will accumulate, it will start accumulating inside the wall of the large intestine. And the important function of large intestine is to absorb the water from the waste material. So it will continually absorb the waste water from the waste material, and it will become very hard, and the condition like constipation will occur in the person. This is very difficult, and it create most of the disorders. Our traditional sciences, Indian traditional sciences like yoga and Ayurveda, particularly, they focus on the clearance of the constipation. If the person is suffering from these disorders, there are chances of having multiple diseases like rheumatism or the skin, various types of skin diseases and all that, because our blood gets impure. Impure. So this is the main concept. So one must take proper diet or avoid intake of the oily, spicy, and fiberless products in our diet for maintenance of healthy gut, for maintenance of the health of the large intestine, or to avoid the constipation. Again, liver, I have told you, liver is a very important gland in our body which removes all the toxic matters. And so one must take care about this gland. How one can take care of this gland? By taking the food which is not very oily and spicy. It creates load on the gland. And also don't take any medications which are not so required. Proper timing of the food or regularity in your lifestyle is very essential for maintenance of the health of the liver. Proper maintenance of lifestyle, intake of breakfast, taking lunch and dinner, the timings. These are very important. Intake of the food, proper food, avoid smoking or taking alcohol. They all are very essential for maintenance of the health of liver. And again, very important, according to the yogic sciences, maintenance of the biological clock. Do you know what is biological clock? Wall clock, everybody knows. Wrist watch, everybody knows. But there is a biological clock inside the body. It's very interesting to know about biological clock or circadian rhythm, one can say. Anybody knows about this?
And the circadian rhythm is, it affects when you're sleepy, when it's time to sleep, when it's time to wake.
Yes. Yes, good. So one must maintain the biological clock inside the body, and according to that clock, we should design our daily routine actually for maintenance of all our health of our gut or digestive tract, because all we take the food, our process of digestion must be on time, or excretory products must be removed time to time from the body for maintenance of the health. So what is your concept about health? What do you mean by a healthy person? Who is healthy according to WHO, or according to yogic science, or according to any traditional science like Ayurveda? What is the concept of health in your mind? Who is healthy, fit 100%? When one can say that the person is 100% healthy?
They can move easily, peace
Yes.
of mind,
Yes.
has good heart rate, blood pressure.
Mm-hmm. Any other definition, correct or proper definition of health, do you know? Given by WHO or any science, health science?
No.
No. Okay. So it is very important to know what is health. You have said correctly actually, but I will give details about the definition. According to WHO, health is not only the absence of disease. That means I have no any disease, so that I am healthy. It is wrong. WHO says uh, it is not the state of having no any disease, but it is the state of complete physical, mental, social, spiritual well-being. Spiritual word is added in near about 2014, I think so. But these three factors were very uh, yet before physical, mental, and social, and they have added one important dimension, that is the spiritual health, and which one can achieve by practicing yogic science. One can achieve this spiritual dimension of health. So health is not only the absence of disease, but it is the state of complete physical, mental, social, spiritual, and even intellectual well-being. This is the correct definition of health. And according to the traditional sciences, this says that um, in our body, some doshas are there, like Vataja, Pittaja, and Kaphaja. Some dosha are there, some dhatu are there, some mala or waste material like urine, fecal matter, and sweat, and all that. All these dosha, all the dhatu like blood, rasa, bones, all seven dhatus are there, and they must remain in sama state. Sama means in proper state, not so in increased or not any deficient. Sama state. Uh, Also, our mind must be samadosha, samagnisht, samadhatu, malakriya, prasanna, in a happy state of mind, atma, and our indriya, that means our sense organs. Five sense organs. You may know the five sense organs. So our sensory organs, prasanna, atma, indriya, and mana. Mana means mind. So freshness or happy state of mind, and the physical health, they are included here in the traditional yogic and Ayurveda sciences. That means this is the complete definition of health. And for maintenance of this healthy state of health, it is required that to have the knowledge about the body, which are driving. Actually, our body is like a machine. When we drive any vehicle, we must know certain parts of the vehicle. So our body is a machine, and one must know about the machine, how it is its structure and how it works and all that, so that we can take the proper care of our organs to maintain its structure and the functions healthy and properly. So clear about the digestive system and the excretory system. I have tried to teach you in a very simple form. If having any question, you can. Clear? Digestive system, any problem? Have you get clear about the health and all that? Yes, we will stop here. Any problem?
If any question,
Okay, you can write in the WhatsApp group if you have any query, and then I will give you the answer. So thank you for your good cooperation. Thank you very much.
thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om to all. We will meet
Thank
you.
Next week.
Thank you, Hariom.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Hariom.